No, but shall I tell you something? It was not the right time to start our quiz, as we have players coming into the playing field again, and that is a
Yes,
very well known name to me, because on the left we are seeing Moritz
no,
8 Point, which I thought would be the judge of this tournament. And I mean, he's playing on the judge playmat, but this is Moritz Asfalk, who is a very well-known judge. And for example, he was the head judge of, or one of the head judges of YCS London, but he's apparently also a Time Wizard 2010 enjoyer.
no way. Moritz Astfalk is in there. I've talked to him a lot about Time Wizard already, and according to his own statements, he's quite the competent pilot.
Ooh. And chat, don't be so quick. That's what I want to say. We're probably going to have an update on the decks. So it's probably not going to be more Frog Monarchs. And look, both of the Frog Monarchs are disappeared. So we are not going to see another Frog Monarch mirror match. So stay calm. This is not a drill. We are not going to see Frog Monarch mirror matches again. Or like, at least not in this match.
Maybe. You don't know that.
I don't know for sure, but I would assume it, yeah. Maybe we will. Okay, I'm taking it back. Maybe we will. Maybe we have some more Frog Monarchs enjoyers. But I think if, like, you were talking to Moritz, and Moritz apparently is super into that Time Wizard format, so maybe he's going for a more complicated deck.
Oh, have you seen what just happened? What just got updated there on the deck side of our Niels?
Both of them have unknown there.
Unknown? Okay, well, so we don't have deck lists yet. That is...
What were you expecting unknown to be?
Playing a crazy pile that makes no sense, but is 2-0, and that would be really cool. But if we just don't know the decks, then my hype is unjustified there.
Unknown, yeah, like, of course, like, Time was a 2010 format, which was 13 years ago, and he just brought a pile that nobody has ever seen before. Both of them, actually. Both of them have.
Hey, things can happen, man. You haven't seen the pile that Joshua was playing before.
True.
So,
fair enough.
I want to see the deck to beat this time. I want to see a Vayu Turbo.
Maybe we are going to see it here. Both of them are undefeated in the tournament right now. Let's not disregard Niels, because he also has won his first 2 rounds, so he probably is a worthy opponent here for Moritz, and therefore round 3 is coming up here. And it looks like we're going to have Moritz starting, because he is drawing for turn here right away. And I think I see a monster set, 3 back rows. And I mean, that's a pretty strong indicator for one of them being Solemn Judgment or Starlight Road, right? Because in a format where Heavy Storm is allowed, you aren't just going to set 3 back rows and then take it if your opponent opens Heavy Storm. You just cannot.
A really good sign of an answer to a Heavy Storm. By the way, do you know how you can counter the Starlight Road?
Let me know.
You can destroy your own card that Starlight Road was activated on.
Ooh, so you're saying you set 1 card before, and look at that, now we have confirmation that we are going to see the first Vayu Turbo deck. And followed by another set card on Moritz side. He sits there on 4 back row after trading Scirocco with DD Warrior Lady, and there comes the Gold Sarcophagus.
And I think that... this is Disaster Dragons. That is really interesting. I'm kind of hyped to see the DD Warrior Lady included in this, but I was actually thinking that maybe a Heavy Storm would be the card that Niels was going to choose. But I mean, yeah, of course, it's kind of telegraphed that there is something for it.
Probably, yeah. And it could still be pure Blackwings, somebody is saying. I don't know. Yeah, it could be, but I don't expect it to be pure. Let's be honest here.
I mean, pure is really dominant as well. Pure has had some upping in usage in the latest tournaments. But
it looks so strong to have 4 back rows. And look at that, he's a head judge of a YCS, and he activates the Allure of Darkness underneath his spell and trap zone. What is this?
Moritz, come on.
You can't do that to us. You're hurting your reputation.
And we are banishing Gale. So, oh, Black Whirlwind, this actually might be pure.
Oh, it is probably. And there comes the normal summon of Scirocco, and the surge of Black Whirlwind is also about to happen.
And we are seeing again another Vayu in his deck. So it's a high amount of Vayus. So I mean, you can play two. That's not a big deal, but oftentimes it's just a one-off. So there we are going to enter the phase of a battle.
Yes, this is actual Blackwings, and there's the Exploder Dragon, which is
Ooh.
also going to blow up the Scirocco, which now enables the graveyard effect of Vayu, and that is immediately going to be used here. And I think that is somewhat of a tell. I think when we are trying to get out a monster here, that probably means that we have Icarus attack set, right? Because we want to have an answer to the Future Fusion right away. That's what I would be thinking. Otherwise, we could just wait a little bit with the graveyard effect of Vayu, but he decides to just immediately use it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, why would you want to take damage if you can prevent it by having a monster on the field as well? It actually doesn't mean that he has to lose to a Future Fusion immediately.
I mean, yes, so much in the back row, it seems unlikely even that he would lose to a single Future Fusion. So Niels really takes his time here as well, though. He's not really getting into this game just yet. He has traded 1-for-1 with Exploder Dragon and DD Warrior Lady. The problem with the trade that Exploder Dragon and Scirocco exchanged was that Scirocco then enabled the Vayu in the grave, so it wasn't really that good of a trade, to be honest.
So we are setting one more monster. Niels is kind of struggling here to establish something. I mean, the deck really needs the Future Fusion to get a big mill off.
Normal summon Shura. And there comes Bottomless Trap Hole. The thing is, yeah, he's still going to be able to trigger the Black Whirlwind, of course.
It is going to activate, but I'm...
Oh, yeah, it's probably not going to not resolve because it can't check the attack on the field anymore, right?
Exactly, so this is why we Solemn Judgment here, which opens Niels up to go for maybe a Heavy Storm.
Yeah, you can't search. True, they could be Heavy Storm coming up, but I mean, for now, we are actually getting ahead in card advantage, like really, really, really badly. The problem is that Dragon deck there that Niels is piloting doesn't really rely on having card advantage or anything. It is just trying to bring out like big monsters in one turn, and then from there on, obviously apply the pressure with that. So even if you're behind in card advantage, you might still be fine. But now it gets even more with Shura's effect resolving now as well because he destroyed a monster at battle.
Yeah, we get another Vayu out, which is of course negated due to Shura's effect, so you can synchro summon with it in main phase 2, but for the moment we can deal 4,800 more damage to Niels, and now we're even ahead in life points after paying for the Solemn Judgment this turn.
Yeah, that's crazy. And still 3 cards being set there in the back row of Moritz. That is so strong, not gonna lie. Stronger than I thought Pure Blackwing could be, because I really didn't think that Pure Blackwing would be the call for this event. Like, you were saying that Pure Blackwing has become more popular again, but I just personally feel like the Vayu Turbo version just seems so much stronger.
I mean, it is more consistent in a way, and it also is more consistent in what it does and how it ends the games by summoning bigger monsters and pressuring. But the Blackwing version is super aggressive, and it is really, really strong also against those Dragon decks that technically have a better matchup against Vayu Turbo.
Yeah, fair enough. So, there is Future Fusion in the hand of Niels now. The problem is it going to resolve? Is the monster that is resulting out of it going to stick to the field? It's not very likely, I want to say. It's not very likely. Also, there's Catasta now on the field, so Niels really has to come up with something here this turn, and that's why he is activating the Future Fusion, and he's going to go with... Oh, and there's Mystical Space Typhoon right away. We are having a look at the extra deck, at the option that he wants to Future Fusion into, but that is not going to happen because of the Mystical Space Typhoon, and therefore it is also not going to happen that Niels is taking this game 1 here, and therefore Moritz is the winner of game 1 and is showing us some nice Blackwing gameplay here.
Yeah, that was a classic Shura attack effect summon Vayu move. Love to see it. You don't get much of those anymore nowadays. But yeah, he just applied a lot of pressure, had the Armor Master on the field as well. And so many back row cards. But I mean, if you open with Blackwing monsters and Black Whirlwind and a lot of protection, you're going to have a good time.
You seriously do. And I mean, he had a pretty good time there. I think Moritz really never felt like he would be losing that game, right? Because I think I spotted a Starlight Road in there as well. Like, he had Judgment, Starlight Road, plus a Mystical Space Typhoon for the Future Fusion, so there were really no cards that he had to fear in that specific matchup, at least. If it would have been a different matchup, there could have been some monsters that could have started pressuring him, but versus that matchup, I think he was very well equipped.
Yep, that is true. Also, just to address it one more time for chat, because some people were asking about the camera quality. It is not about the camera. We had our first option that we wanted to use for streaming did not work out entirely, so Basti is restreaming the entire thing, which kind of hurts the quality of the stream.
Yep, sadly, that's the case. We had to make a decision on whether to have the stream all together with this quality or whether to just not have it, and I hope that you guys are happy that we're still giving you the stream here, even though the quality is a little bit worse, and therefore we can still enjoy this event, this great event brought by Raid and Trade Smart Guard together with Joshua Schmidt and us here casting on his channel. So we can see some Time Wizard 2010 format gameplay today. And I mean, I think we can agree, everyone, that we still get what's going on the field. It's like not that bad that we're not capable of following what's happening. And therefore, I think we're fine.
Okay, also really nice of you. Thank you for the kind words, Chat. We are also enjoying to have this stream here with you and to finally have some 2010 action again.
True, absolutely. Also, that's right, this is not round 2, this is indeed round 3. You could also tell that by the score, because Moritz and Niels are both currently 2-0, and that would be quite a hard task to accomplish in round 2 of the tournament. So, let's see. We're shuffling up for game 2, and now it's going to be a lot harder for Moritz, because we saw that he had a great setup here going first with all those traps. But going second, that situation is going to change drastically, because now Niels is going to be the one that will be able to set up first. And we gotta see whether that is working out as well for Moritz in that case, or whether that is going to be too huge of a disadvantage to overcome.
I mean, the Dragon deck. I haven't had much experience playing versus it lately. I have touched the deck when I was a teenager. So actually back when it was good, I think it topped like one bigger event, one Shonen Jump series or championship.
Yeah.
And after that, it kind of got disregarded again by the player base. But I picked up the deck, and it was really cool. You can OTK a lot with Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. What a fantastic card that has had a little revival in earlier, I want to say, COVID formats.
Yeah. So, let's see. Oh, it's so beautiful to see Karlsruhe in the hand of Moritz. Just the pure presence of Karlsruhe makes me happy, because he really is one of the cutest looking boards ever, and it has such a strong effect. Like, back in the day, you always had to play around Karlsruhe when you could, and yeah, there's Karlsruhe in his hand. So Niels, if you can hear me, which is totally impossible, you should better play around Karlsruhe this game.
Maybe Niels has really good ears.
Maybe. Oh, it is going to be the classic T-Set pass. This T-Set pass has been given over from generation to generation everybody knows what a T-Sat pass is.
Whoa.
Oh, and it's going to be Black Wild into Shura, which is so strong. Shura going second is such a powerhouse.
That is a big oof moment for Niels. Whirlwind Shura is basically the combo that you want to have.
It's beautiful.
Just so much advantage. Black Whirlwind is such a good card.
It absolutely is.
Misaligned T set. Yep.
True, it's not even the T. He plays around the Mech Knights, and therefore it is not the accurate T-Sat anymore. So could you catch what he was searching there? Was it...
Blizzard, the far north.
Oh, true, yeah. That's good for follow-up, of course. Again, it's DD Warrior Lady. So in his Dragon's deck, he keeps on opening the DD Warrior Lady there. Oh, and it looks like Moritz has Solemn Judgment again. Wow.
Yeah, Solemn Judgment is a card that wasn't always that popular in Yu-Gi-Oh! It even is really good now in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it is a popular answer to cards like Evenly Matched.
Oh, what's going on now? We are activating Kalut in that battle.
Oh, okay. I can see why.
I mean, because they just searched for Blizzard, right? That must be the reason.
That is really interesting because I think... Okay, so his plan is to go for normal summon Blizzard, summon back the Kalut next turn. Yep. But what he could also do is just normal summon Kalut, search for Gale, and then go into a level 6 synchro. I think that's also a decent play, right?
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, now we also get the search for Vayu, which is not terrible. Chainlink 1 Blizzard, Chainlink 2 Black Whirlwind, and it is going to resolve. Or is there anything else we could search? I think that's the only one you can search back in the day. Nowadays, you could search so many more Blackwings because there's like 5 Blackwings releasing every single set. And therefore, you could just search. I think by now, in this scenario, you could really search for like 6 or 7 different Blackwings if you're playing them all.
So I'm going to open up Neuron.
Oh, there's Mistral as well. I think, was Mistral released for that format as well? It probably was, right?
I think, yeah. It was in the same set as Silverwind, the Ascendant.
Look at that.
Okay.
We go
so I'm going to type in Blackwing.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me how many cards there are with Blackwing in the name.
That's a hard task. 81.
It's incredibly close. It's 78.
Yeah, I knew that. Ooh, Bottomless Trapple on the Cataster is strong.
Yeah, Cataster is a problem card. Sometimes. I mean, if you have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, then it's absolutely not. But you actually want to apply some pressure here with the DD Warrior Lady, I assume. Maybe normal summon a Red Eyes Wyvern as well.
Yeah, you just try to pressure your opponent a little bit. And, what is that?
Drago.
It's Kwakimeru Drago. Oh, but we're playing around Mirror Force, but we get hit with the Book of Moon there. Book of Moon on the Drago. And I mean, now again, the field is open on Moritz's side, so I assume we could see Scirocco coming down here very, very soon.
Yeah, I think that he has Grepher in hand, and the just searched Vayu basically enables a really good Grepher play. You're using your priority, which would not use your Black Whirlwind for a turn, but I think you can afford that.
Indeed, there is the Grepher. We're not using the special summon effect, but we can, of course, still use the on-field effect.
If there is a judgment on Niels' side, I think that Moritz would judgment that one as well. I think he's going to ditch the Vayu and get another Vayu into the graveyard. Or Scirocco? Oh, he didn't have Scirocco in there. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think he has Scirocco in hand, but it was not in the graveyard just yet.
Yeah, he drew the Gale as well. And that is kind of interesting because now he can just go for the Armor Master, or the Armed Wing, and then special summon out the Gale from hand to synchro summon with the Grepher together. I just don't know what that would accomplish, because which level 7 synchro deals with the DD Warrior Lady without nuking your entire field?
Yeah, I was about to say, Black Rose Dragon. Let's just go Black Rose Dragon, and then it's an even playing field again.
I think you just go for Armed Wing, attack over the Drago, and then Grapher into the DD Warrior Lady. I think that's a reasonable line.
Sounds about right. I think trading Grapher and DD Warrior Lady is good, but there's Bottomless Trap Hole, so that line is going to be denied by that Bottomless Trap Hole. Niels loves his trap holes that are bottomless.
Yeah, as we say in Germany, that's bodenlos. But yeah, we are running over the Korkimaru Drago. A powerful monster in terms of attack, but not defense, unlike the Dark Magician.
Yeah. So it is going back over to Niels, who now has to come up with something. Like, that Grapher, even though it is not
Yeah,
that big of a threat on the field usually, is pretty good here. Oh, but there's Call of the Haunted for the Quackimero Drago, and that helps. That certainly helps.
yes. Agreed. Moritz is at a pretty good life total. Moritz also has the Judgment set, which is a card that you can activate at any life total that you have. It does not prevent you from normal summoning your Sirocco and getting a really good Black Whirlwind off. I think Drago also says that you only can special summon Light and Darkness monsters, or just not those.
I'm
Let me
also
check.
not 100% sure. Let me check as well. I think you can not special summon Light and
Yeah.
Darks. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that makes much more sense because that's like the most popular attributes.
Yeah, I think so as well. Have you looked it up or not?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, fair.
So, oh, mind control. Don't know
Ooh.
what that does here, but oh, we normal summon the Gale actually, and not the Sirocco. Maybe that isn't a Sirocco in hand, but maybe we just want to go for the Gale and then afterwards activate mind control and go into an Armor Master with the DD Warrior Lady, which would also be fantastic.
Or maybe we want to go into the Black Rose Dragon, rather. Oh, wait, we can't go into Black... Oh, wait, we
Oh yeah,
can go into
you
Black Rose
can
Dragon.
go, but I mean, you can also just out the entire field without blowing up your Black Whirlwind and your Solemn Judgment.
True, there's Dimensional Prison
You
for
have to.
the Gale, and now at that point he decides that he has to use his Solemn Judgment. He held it
Yeah.
for so long, but he cannot hold it any longer, and he clears the Korkimero Drago with that.
Also, that is, by the way, a Grapher in hand.
And I mean, yeah, you cannot make Armor Master under Drago. That's a pretty good point.
Yeah, you attack over the Drago, and then you mind control the DD Warrior Lady, and then you go into Armor Master.
Oh, yeah, true. Oh, and I think that is what's going to happen. He's taking over the DD Warrior Lady, immediately synchro summoning it away, and as Leo has seen it coming days ago already, there is the Armor Master hitting the field now.
Which is a card that is quite hard to get. I mean, have you looked at the prices of this thing lately? I think you're paying like at least 15 euros for the super rare copy of the Duelist pack.
That's crazy.
But it's such an amazing card. I love it so much. I remember when I got one traded to me in the schoolyard. A beautiful ultra rare copy. I also got a beautiful ultimate rare copy of Vayu, and I was like 13 or something like that, with this fantastic Blackwing deck in my hand.
Yeah,
That was
but good catch by Karamantroledes. He said it gets a reprint of the new tins as a promo. That's pretty
exactly
dope.
in the cool new rarity, I think, right?
It should be, yeah. It should be in the 25th century rare, if that's how it's called.
That is really nice. It also has a nice Starlight rare reprint.
Oh yeah, true, absolutely.
I wanted to get one, but then I didn't, and now it's significantly more expensive. So
Significantly, a little bit more expensive.
how big is Edison anyway? It's a 200 players event, so it's actually huge. It's bigger than most of the regionals that we have had in the past.
Yeah, that's at least for Europe. I know for the Americans, you guys like basically never have a regional that's under 250 players or something.
That's
And we do also have those big regionals in Europe too, but most of our regionals are like smaller. I think it's much more common for us to have regionals between 60 and 150 players. That is much more likely. But now for Niels, it would be a good time to finally resolve a future fusion, right? But even then, he would need 2 more turns, and I don't know whether he has those 2 more turns.
Uh,
So,
Not necessarily, because you're just sending 5 dragons to the graveyard, and
oh yeah,
you
fair
have
enough.
Red Eyes Wyvern as well, and the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, so you could immediately, in the end phase, when you're not normal summoning, summon back an RE DMD.
Ooh, what do we have there? Oh,
Oh, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon.
oh, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and that is also like really strong here. It gets to reborn the Korkimero Drago as well, and we are revealing another Drago in hand, and that's why or another dragon, and that's why the Korkimero Drago can stick to the field.
But the cool thing here is that this Armor Master was not summoned by Vayu, so it cannot be destroyed by battle.
Ooh.
And it can actually, in a few turns, it takes a few turns that you can get rid of the attack points of an opposing monster. You attack it, you give it a wedge counter, and then in the next main phase, because this is absolutely not a quick effect. Oh, Gold Sarcophagus.
There is Gold Sarcophagus, finally, for Niels. Finally, it is there. He needs that card so badly to really make his deck work, and he is now going to be able to grab that Future Fusion. Problem, though, is not only the Future Fusion will take 2 turns to resolve, which is, as you just explained, not the worst thing in the world because you're still getting the monsters into the graveyard quicker than that. But now you also have to wait 2 turns for the Future Fusion to actually arrive in your hand. And I mean, he's not even certain about grabbing the Future Fusion at that point. Look, he's hesitating on what to grab.
Maybe he cited it out.
Unlikely, I want to say, but let's see. Oh, but it is the Future Fusion. Ultimately, he has decided to go for Future Fusion.
But I mean, he has some time, right? I don't see. Is there a dice on the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon?
Doesn't look like it, no.
Attack into the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, because that's what you have to do. Or was this just still the same turn? I'm a bit confused here.
I think
Oh,
no attacking is happening there at all. But Moritz has decided to now attack, giving the first wedge counter over to the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon.
Yep, and then next turn you can just put the attack to 0. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon can decide to special summon something out again. However, I don't know if there are any dragons that aren't dark or light. So, really good chance that the own Quackimiro Drago is locking Niels himself.
Yeah, for sure. Because last turn he already had the choice to special summon, and he didn't. And therefore, I would assume that there is just nothing to special summon out. And that may mean that he's going to crash here. Oh, there's Book of Moon on the side of Niels. And that is actually, like, pretty strong. Oh, but I think the counter is going to... Yeah. Oh, I think Niels thought that the counter is going to go away. But why would it? The counter is being put onto the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. And after it has been put onto the monster, it has nothing to do with the Armor Master anymore. And yeah, that did not work out well at all.
What actually allowed him to not activate the Book of Moon, so...
Oh, I see.
Kind of a friendly competition here. What you can do is a Book of Moon, your own Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, of course, and then flip it up, because then the counters are removed. But Moritz decided to do it for Niels, to remove the counters, set the attack points of the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to 0, and now probably attack over it as well. I need to look up something, because I think Moritz drew into the Royal Oppression in the last turn, and I think this should actually just destroy the Future Fusion on activation, right?
Ooh, does it? Really? That would be crazy. It's so interesting to see that this format is so slow that Moritz, going second, has all those traps in his deck, right? Like, there's Solemn Judgment, there's Royal Oppression, like... He had the choice to side those out, but there's just such a crucial part of the deck that he cannot really side them out. Oh, and I mean, the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is still on 0 attack, and therefore even the Dark Grapher can now run over it. Ouch.
And that is going to be a sizable chunk of health. The 1,700 life points. I mean, it's not that big, to be honest, but it's still decent, almost 20%. And now we are grabbing the Future Fusion, and we are going to see if what I just addressed is to Future Fusion. Can you immediately answer
Oh,
this with Royal Pressure, or do you have the
it is
mystical
just
space typhoon?
mystical space typhoon again. Moritz, what are you doing to Niels? Back-to-back games, we just have the immediate answer to the Future Fusion. And he had to wait 2 turns to even get to that card. This is mad. Oh, wait. He cannot even Future Fusion under Drago, somebody is saying.
That could be true.
That's a reasonable concern that Chat has there. You probably can't, right?
Yeah, it's a dark type. I mean, maybe you can reveal and then just not summon.
Might be the case, yeah. Probably.
As I already stated earlier, I haven't played versus the deck lately, so okay, he can't even reveal. He cannot in Edison.
Of course he can. It just depends on what he has in his extra deck. I mean, there's probably not that many different cards that he can reveal for Future Fusion, let's be honest.
But Moritz is just in a commanding spot right now. We are summoning back the Drago. And
Oh, are we rewinding at that point, or what's happening here? It looks like, I mean, I can tell you there is a judge sitting at the table, and there's also somebody in the operating team that is... Oh yeah, look, the MST went back. Yep, yeah, he couldn't activate the Future Fusion. That's what just happened. The Future Fusion has returned to hand. So chat, definitely make sure to keep on tracking those kind of things, and we can immediately bring them up, because there is somebody sitting there right next to the playing table that has our beautiful voices in his ears. So he has heard what we were saying. Yeah, poor guy, for real. Like, I don't want to be in Typhoon shoes for sure. But we could immediately bring that over to the table, and we have rewinded the situation as quickly as we could.
yeah, and you know this is a really competent person sitting there, because he is actually a former German national champion.
True, absolutely. And I think he's also in chat, because there is a Tom Typhoon in chat. But now the situation is not looking much better for Niels. Can Niels find a way out of this? Moritz checking his graveyard, having a bunch of cards in hand. But I mean, now he can activate Future Fusion again, right?
Yeah, but I think that his life points are drastically decreasing. Moritz has another normal summon in Blizzard the Far North. He can put up so much damage here that he could actually take out Niels in one turn. If he activates Future Fusion, he cannot normal summon. Had to reborn a Red Eyes in the end phase, and that one could be easily banished by a Bottomless set there. So I think that we might see a quick 2-0 from Moritz's side soon.
I think quick is a little bit of an overstatement, but like maybe quick in terms of time with the 2010 standards, but this has still taken quite a while, and that's what so many people love about this time wizard format. It really is a grindy format. You really have to work for your wins. It really will be okay. He can of course also just activate Grapher here, and I mean, doesn't that just give him game right on the spot? Oh, we have to dump the DD Crow. That's not going to help.
I mean, he could just go Armor Master and Gale into Baron de Fleur.
Easy. Oh yeah, easy. Quick 30 minutes 2-0. Yeah, exactly. That is what's happening here. And the double Armor Master on board. But there's another Vayu in graveyard and the Shiroko. So, I mean, this is just going to be game right here on the spot, isn't it? Because there's so many Blackwings. Oh, and another Synchro Summon. He doesn't even stop. I think Moritz is just doing it for the flags here. There comes Stardust Dragon now as well.
But is there gods? But he's just passing because he already used his battle phase. That's what I thought.
True.
Now we are activating the Future Fusion. You can actually show the 5-headed dragon. Yep. So we are going to send some cards. If there is a possibility for Niels to get 2 big monsters on the field, then this might actually not be over for him, because we have one bottomless trap hole, and now Moritz is kind of out of steam after this big power turn. He could have just passed on the Grapher and the Armor Master, and have the option to go for like the Darkness dragon thing, the X prize card. I don't know. Dark Entry.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting to see that Moritz decided to just use the Mystical Space Typhoon in end phase on a random back row instead of holding it for the future fusion, right?
I think that the random back row was the Dust Tornado that was activated against Moritz, so that the future fusion.
Oh, okay, I see.
But I could be wrong.
Oh,
Now we have
there is a
now we have-
bottomless trap hole, but of course we used the priority of the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, so we still got ourselves a dragon onto the
No.
field.
That was an end phase, I think. But we have 2 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon in graveyard and 2 Red Eyes Wyvern, and that one is not once per turn.
But couldn't we just... Oh, okay, it's only a main phase effect. I see. Yeah, true, it was end phase. You're right.
Yeah. So we are checking the Wyvern again, if it is once per turn, maybe. But I think that Moritz actually drew a Royal Oppression, and that would be absolutely insane, because as soon as you activate the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and Oppression gets flipped, you are on no monsters on the field again.
That would be so crucial. So, but for the moment, with only 6.5 minutes left, the Dragons player, the Niels of the round 3 featured matches, is ahead in life points, so that could become a factor here.
That's true.
He used 2 Wyverns. Yep, in chat is also confirming that. It was 2 Wyverns being used. So there comes the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and indeed, that is Royal Oppression. You eyes weren't lying to you, Leo. Your eyes weren't lying. And that is so strong. I'm happy that we got to see the resolve of Future Fusion here. Yeah. But it's probably still not going to be enough for Niels.
And those 2 Blackwing Armor Masters are looking actually incredible right here. So we are seeing Stardust Dragon flipped into attack position. I mean, Stardust Dragon gets significantly worse with the Royal Oppression in the game. We are attacking a Masked Dragon.
Oh, I mean...
Because Masked Dragon is in damage step, I think we cannot Royal Oppression here.
There we go. There is... Is that another Masked Dragon? Right, yeah? Yeah, it is. It absolutely looks like another one.
Another quiz question, Basti. What color is the eyes of Masked Dragon?
Yellow.
Oh, the eyes. It's green.
Oh. That is indeed very good for masking, I guess. when you don't want to be seen and you're wearing a mask, it makes sense to have green eyes as well. That just fits the picture very well.
So we're attacking over the Exploder Dragon. Exploder Dragon will activate, I think.
No, also the real owner of this Twitch channel, Yugioh Schmidt, instead saying 2-1 boys, we lost. So we have the first loss of Joshua in the tournament now. Maybe the Quick Draw Hero deck is not the best deck of the format. There's still more time to figure that out though. And for now we will figure out whether Niels still has a way back into this game here. And there is the summon of the 5-headed dragon. I mean, that's a lot of attack points staring at Moritz there.
That is really good for Moritz because he does not take damage from attacks with a Blackwing Dragon. Blackwing Armor Master. I don't know why I keep saying Blackwing Dragon. And he used the Stardust Dragon. Can't be reborn, or he didn't try to reborn it. He used it to negate the Exploder Dragon. So the 5-headed dragon can't run over it for game.
I mean, so it's actually like looking, but like on one hand, it's looking good for Moritz that Niels doesn't have an answer to it. Oh, okay, wait, he can still do the whole Blackwing Armed Wing workaround though. He can still just give wedge counters onto the 5-headed dragon, and then next turn again he has an answer to it. I
haven't. It never happened in my life that I've seen Armor Master use their effects. This much.
Same honestly. This looks like Armor Master control by Moritz. So, is it going to be another card that allows Niels to push here this turn? I mean, what kind of cards could we get into here? Like, of course, those spot removals, for example, the Phoenix Wing Blast, or maybe Mural Force, Dimensional Prison. I think we are relying on some of those cards to be drawn. Now there's defense position from the 5-headed dragon. And Leo, is the wedge counter only going to make it 0 attack, or is it also defense?
Defense as well.
It's defense as well. That's unfortunate then for Niels.
Yep. And I mean, Moritz still has some life points to use Royal Oppression with. Oh, that is really good.
Wow.
Another Black
There's
Whirlwind.
another Black Whirlwind, and there's also Bora. And Bora, as we all know, has the ability to do piercing damage. I think it was called different back in the day. Do you remember how piercing damage was called back in the day?
I mean, they just explained it, right? It didn't have a name. It's just if this card attacks a monster in defense position, you inflict damage to your opponent's life points. Something.
I think so. I remember in I don't know the English term because back in the day I wasn't really or there wasn't that much international coverage. Oh, and there's double Karlsruhe, and I think that is going to be game. And yes, we have the handshake, the double Karlsruhe for game. And Moritz is shaking his head, but he's going to be our winner here of the round 3 featured match, still being undefeated in this.
Maybe there was an error in the life points there because that was only 4,800 damage. Maybe there were some payments for the Royal Oppression on Niels' side. But Moritz actually, I was curious because he searched for a Blizzard with one of the Whirlwinds. So I was like, does he have the second Karlsruhe in hand? And yes, he absolutely did, and he crushed it. Bora attacking over the 5-headed dragon for a game with double Karlsruhe. Those cute birds really put in a lot of work.